Hello, and welcome back to Miss History. I'm Rhonda, and this is where I talk about odd or unsolved historical mysteries. And if that sounds like something that you might enjoy, then please consider subscribing. I missed you. I hope you've all been well. I had to have a dermatological procedure, so that's why I was gone last week. Anyway, this week I finally have an odd mystery to talk about. Odd. And what I thought was an unsolved mystery from 1994 has turned into another big old huge ordeal from 2013 and involves the Carlton Hotel in Cannes, France. My French is a bit rusty, but at least it was a language class that I took. We are going to be visiting the French Riviera. Fancy. Specifically, the Carlton Hotel in Cannes. If you're like me, you've never been there. But this was the setting for Alfred Hitchcock's 1955 thriller To Catch a Thief, where Grace Kelly's character would fall in love with Cary Grant's cat burglar character. It was also where Grace Kelly would stay later that year during the Cannes Film Festival, and she would meet and fall in love with Prince Rainier III from Monaco, thus taking her from Hollywood starlet to princess. It was also here where Elton John and his painted dancers would dance around the entrance of this 110-year-old hotel for his video, I'm Still Standing, and where then broke film student George Lucas would sit on a terrace in the 70s and strike up a deal with United Artists to begin development for American Graffiti. Allegedly, United Artists turned down his idea for a soap opera that would take place in a galaxy far, far away. They didn't think it would work. Oops. The Carlton The Carlton Hotel is located on the exclusive Promenade de la Croisette, which is the crescent-shaped beachfront in the French Riviera that stretches a mile and a half. This is where the rich and famous go to play. You know, precious family moments, damn it. The allure, the aura, and the mystique around this hotel since its opening are to romance what Stephen King's fictional Overlook Hotel is to horror. It has 343 rooms on 7 floors, and it is framed at either end of La Croisette by twin cupolas, which are rumored to be modeled after the body of Carolina Otero, who is a Spanish actress and dancer and was renowned as the most beautiful woman in all of Europe at the turn of last century. She's known for dancing with her breasts covered with diamonds and pearls in the musical Folies Bergere in Paris. In fact, for years, the penthouse restaurant at the hotel was named for her, La Bella Otero. The Carlton would open its doors on January 30th, 1911, and just a few short years later, the First World War would happen. It said that the Carlton would remain a place of dignity and elegance throughout the entire conflict. It was also here where, in 1922, the League of Nations would meet to make out a plan for peace in Europe that was to be an everlasting peace. We know what happened there. It didn't work out so well because, when the Nazis occupied France during the Second World War, The beach just outside the hotel was said to contain landmines and was also strung with barbed wire, to keep the Allied forces out. As history says, the Nazis were defeated in 1945. I see the barbed wire did well. In 1946, the Cannes Film Festival was established as a way to rebuild tourism in the region. This would lead to the hotel becoming the home of the world's chicest industry event, with stars flocking there each year. So, there's your history lesson. Moving on. Figuratively speaking, the Carlton does still have barbed wire around it, at least socially. Unless you have money or beauty, you will gain no entrance to its majesty. Personally, I can't even afford to look at the place. That's not to say that the undesirable do not sometimes find a way to slip in. According to Laurent Bouzereau, quote, "It's a contrast of the haves and the have-nots right there from the lobby to the rooftop." Excellent. The Carlton is a palace of decadence, opulence, and appetites. It's also a place for crooks, from the small time to the grandiose. I guess if you can easily separate yourself from 1,000 euros a night for one suite, crooks believe that you probably have the ability to be separated for more. This leads actors, film execs, film critics, and other wealthy festival goers to often share stories of being the targets to pickpockets and hotel thieves. As one story goes, it was August of 1994 when 3 masked men walked into the luxury hotel and started shooting machine guns. Guests and hotel workers alike would dive to the floor as the noise ripped through the air over their heads. In the jewelry store of the hotel, diamonds and other gems worth somewhere between 43 and 77 million US dollars were taken from their display cases and would forever vanish along with the 3 thieves. No one was injured. No one was killed. In fact, there was not even one bullet hole to damage anything in the interior where the machine guns were fired, leading people to believe they fired blanks. The heist would be published in the Guinness Book of World Records in 1996 as one of the costliest heists in history. It's been recounted not only by workers who were there, but also National Geographic, the BBC, the LA Times, CNN, and other news networks. It has become a part of legend at the Carlton Hotel, even with the aspect of the fake gunfire, adding to the oft-referred ironic allure. Outside the ranking of the Guinness Book, there are no articles, no reports with photos of the police at the Carlton, no investigative quotes, no witness statements, no suspect descriptions, no details of the stolen gems. Even the owners of the hotel can find no record that the incident ever happened. Representatives from the Guinness Book of World Records state that although they published the story for a number of years, they weren't able to find anything to back it up. And the local police state that they aren't even aware of the heist. The story is repeated by tourists and journalists and local shopkeepers, but this event is rumored to have never actually happened. Perhaps it was just a scheme to gain popularity, tourism. Whatever the reason, the story keeps getting repeated even though it's rumored to have never happened. Although the 1994 heist seems to have never happened, there was a 2013 one that did, and would put the record from the 94 heist to shame. This heist was carried out by one man in less than 1 minute and would be worth a total of $136 million US. It was 2013 during the Cannes Film Festival, and the region was getting hit by a whole bunch of high-profile crime. There were Chopard jewels that were stolen from a safe at the Novotel Hotel, valued at $1 million US. A diamond necklace valued at $2.6 million US vanished from a Hotel du Cap Eden rock party hosted by a jeweler named Di Grisogono. These would pale in comparison to the heist at the Carlton. Robbery expert Scott Andrew Shelby would say, quote, "A big diamond company wants to show off their wares, and they want to go to Cannes because Cannes has a touch of magic and celebrity attached to it because of the film festival and because of the rich and famous who summer there. So you rent out a space that used to be a restaurant in the Carlton Hotel, and you put on an exhibit about how great your diamonds are. That's where you go to get the buzz, get the magazines to write about you, get the celebrities to see you, get the crazy rich people to buy it. Because crazy rich people apparently have nothing better to do with their money than spend it on $1 million jewels. What's that like?" The 2013 theft at the Carlton in Cannes took approximately 30 seconds. Think about that. 30 seconds. It was a Sunday morning. The exterior of the Carlton had pink vinyl banners reading Leviev, Extraordinary Diamonds. This was a showing from billionaire Lev Leviev, who was an oligarch from Uzbekistan who had become a citizen of Israel, but he also had strong ties to Vladimir Putin and Russia, and he had done a fantastic job of advertising his exhibition in the French Riviera. He did not, however, do such a great job to safeguard his diamond collection. Ding dong. Apparently, no one told the police when the diamonds were going to be on display. Also, no one thought it wise to hire a security guard to even stand out in front. At the very least, it was open to the sidewalk. As a result, the stones were carted off in the time it takes to ask someone how to pronounce Leviev. According to John Shaw, who's a Paris-based insurance adjuster, quote, "It wouldn't have been difficult to have somebody out front to prevent that from happening." Maybe. When you look at the surveillance from the 2013 heist, you see the first sign of trouble when a security guard inside is seen standing near some curtains, and he stumbles backwards with his hands in the air. In another shot, you see a man and a woman at the back of the room who had just started unpacking the jewels. The man would drop to his knees and put his hands in the air, and the woman covered her face because apparently then the robber couldn't see her anymore. The thief had a bandana over his face and a black baseball cap on, and he entered through the doors on the east side under the Otero Dome, walked quickly around the center display with his gun extended. He had a white satchel swinging at his side, which is allegedly where he had the gun. He took a black duffel bag from behind the counter, as well as 2 trays of jewels that had already been set out. His haul would include 72 pieces half of which were designated as exceptional because of their flawlessness and ridiculous value. Of the items taken was a 55-carat diamond set as a platinum ring and is said to have been about the size of a fun-sized Snickers bar. Can you imagine trying to lug your hand around with a diamond like that on there? Did you see my diamond? Also, a 30-carat emerald, a 29-carat sapphire, and a variety of necklaces, earrings, brooches, and rings. As I said, these items were valued at approximately $136 million US, which is more than anyone that I know makes in a year. It was almost as if he knew exactly when to arrive, when the items would be most accessible, and then when there would be no one else around to impede his task. The location being as posh as it is, you'd think that there'd be security everywhere. But you would be wrong. It's said that people who stay at the Carlton really, really like their privacy. So there's actually less security there than what you would find elsewhere. One theory is that the 2013 heist was at least partially an inside job. The timing, the clockwork of the heist, it all seemed too easy, so it's reasonable to make this assumption. According to a source, quote, Leviev was the target of knowledgeable competitors about this diamond show. The thief was an outsider who benefited from internal complicity at the hotel. Any rival could have possibly had the knowledge and the means to recut the gems and resell them. An insider employee would not have the same resources, so why not work together? Was it an inside job? Was it a rival? Or to throw a wrinkle in whatever it is, dear viewer, that you may be thinking, consider the fact that there is a group known as the Pink Panthers. They have been involved in many nefarious things. The group apparently has a French connection in Nice. It is believed that the stolen gems from 2013 went to the Balkans. Apparently, the Pink Panthers are known to international law. They are a Serbian-based organization, and it has been said that they have been responsible for a number of outright brazen jewel heists around the globe. The 2013 heist is said not to match the MO of that of the organization, as they tend to use large teams, Ocean's 11, as opposed to one single person. Because criminal organizations can't change their MO to throw anybody off, ever. That doesn't happen. Maybe it was the Pink Panthers who robbed the Carlton in 1994. Maybe that story was just made-up folly. You know, the musings of a vivid imagination of an employee bored at work one day. Maybe it was the Mandela effect. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. Can you imagine $136 million? I mean, seriously, what would you do with that kind of money. I would buy my own like private estate at the top of a mountain and live like a hermit for the rest of my days. It'd be amazing. This is more money than I can wrap my head around. I don't even know. Anyway, again, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Until next time, stay safe out there. It's a crazy world.